Hi, Wayne Jennings here with another outdoor product review. Today I'm looking at this. It's a trail camera made by a company called Winghome. It's the model 630M, and up till now I've never actually owned or used a trail camera, but this company, Winghome, they contacted me, asked me if I'd be interested in reviewing their product. So I said, sure, send one my way. I'll see what I can do. And I'm glad they did, because I've been able to use it on a few of my camping trips. Now, I'm not a hunter, so I don't need to set it up as a, as a game camera to find out where, the deer or the trails are, things like that. But I figured it would be really useful for when I'm camping. I'm sure maybe you've been in this situation. You're sleeping in your tent at night and you hear a noise outside and your mind starts playing tricks on you, and you're thinking, was that a bear? Was it a moose? Probably it was a squirrel or a chipmunk, but I figured if I had a trail camera and I set it up and I could aim it at my tent or aim it at the fire pit, that way, come morning, I could go out, check it out, and see exactly what's been snooping around my campsite. So let's take this little trail camera, head on out, and check it out. Some of the key features of the Winghome 630M trail camera include a wide-angle lens with a 100-degree field of view. There's a passive infrared sensor that covers an 80-degree field of view, and this is combined with a fast trigger speed of 0.4 seconds. You can capture still images in sizes of 5, 8, 12, or 16 megapixels, and video sequences can be recorded in standard definition at 640 lines or as high definition at either 720 or 1080 lines of resolution. There are 6 infrared LEDs rated at 850 nanometers, and the infrared range is 65 feet. That's about 20 meters. The Winghome trail camera ships in this box with the following items. Of course, you get the camera itself, and there's this sturdy mounting strap measuring nearly 6 feet in length. You get a USB cable, and there's a quick start guide and a very detailed user manual. Not included, but items you'll also need include a memory card and batteries. The camera accepts SD cards in sizes of 4 to 32 gigabytes, and it requires 8 AA alkaline or rechargeable nickel metal hydride batteries for power. Here's a nice close-up look of the Winghome trail camera model 630M. And like most trail cameras, it's got that distinctive camouflage look. This is kind of an olive green color. And, size and weight, it's kind of typical with other trail cameras, not too big, not too small. So let's check it out. The front on the top is dominated by the passive infrared sensor, which covers a field of view of 80 degrees. And below that is the semi-wide angle lens. That covers a field of view of 100 degrees. So basically anything the sensor sees, the lens should be able to record. Now below that, there's a little array here. Behind these panels is 6 infrared LEDs, and they light up and illuminate your subject at night when it's taking a picture or shooting video. Now on the bottom here, it's nice to see we have a 1/4-inch metal tripod socket, so it's not going to wear out on you. So, if you want to mount it on a tripod or one of those tree mounts with a 1/4-inch socket adapter, you can do that. We also have in this corner a waterproof cover that opens up, and behind that, if you want to plug in a 12-volt power supply to run it on external power, you've got that option there as well. Basically in the back, we have these plastic slots where you can run your strap through to attach it to a post or a tree, and you've got these kind of raised edges with little nubbies on there to help secure it against the tree. Now on the bottom here is kind of neat. You got the little you could attach a lanyard or something there, or you could put a little padlock on there so that it doesn't accidentally get open. And to open it, we just snap these two latches, open it up, and there we have the interior. One side is dedicated to power. That's where your 8 AA alkalines go. And the other side, of course, is the camera, all the electronics. Now on the very bottom, you'll find your SD card slot. This will take memory cards in sizes from, I think they say 4 to 32 gigabytes. And beside it, you'll see there's a little USB port. Now, according to the instructions, that is just to send out video if you want to use this as a webcam. It says nothing about using it to upload files. So I think if you need to upload files, you have to take the memory card out, which is fine. So the screen itself, it's a 2.3-inch screen. It is not a touch screen. We'll just power it on here. It's not a touch screen, so you have to use these arrows to navigate. Now on the switching here, there's the off switch, and then there says setup, and then it says on. So there's like 3 main settings. Obviously when it's off, there's no power going to it. Setup allows you to go in, make the changes you want. And once you've made those changes, it's just a matter of every time you want to use it, you switch it all the way to the top to on, and it's set. You just set it up, it'll do its thing. But of course, you need to set it up the way you want it. So right now it's on setup. And if we hit menu here, you get your main menu with submenus. And the main menu has 3 choices. On the top, there's camera, passive, infrared, and your tool icon. So each one of those is the main menu. Below them is a submenu. So let's start, and you can just kind of cycle across to the one you want. So we'll start with the camera menu, and then with the up and down arrows, you can select what you want to change. So the camera mode here, you can select if you want to shoot just photos or just video, or photos and video. So that's kind of neat. You can do a multi-shot, so you can do 1, 2, 3, or 4 photos, like a burst photo. Image size, I think you can go from 3 up to, or sorry, from 5 up to 16 megapixels in size. Obviously, the higher the picture size, the more detail, but the quicker it will use up your memory. You can also do the same with your video size. If you're okay shooting in standard definition, you have that option, but I prefer to shoot in full 1080. That gives me a much better image. You can go in and set how long you want the video to be. There's a night mode here that it's kind of, you have to kind of practice with it and see, but basically it defines how the image is going to look, because you have maximum range, but the quality may not be as good. You can set it to a minimum blur or no blur, or kind of balance, kind of gives you more range and less blur. So it's kind of the best of both, but you really have to experiment and see what works for you. You can turn the LEDs on. Well, actually they're on anyways, but I mean, you can turn them high or low. Again, the light output will make your pictures brighter or not quite as bright. And you can give your camera a name if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but you can certainly do that. So we'll go back to the passive infrared setting. You can go in here and you can turn it right off. Now, the whole idea, of course, behind the trail camera is that it's on, so it detects things and snaps the shutter. But I could see you could maybe want to turn it off if you're using the time-lapse mode. And there's a sensitivity switch on here, so you can set it for high, medium, or low. There's a delay that you can set as well. You can shoot time-lapse videos. You can also, you can go in and set the parameters for how long you want it as well. You can also set different times, work time 1 and work time 2. So where you would use that, you could set this camera to only record video, say from dusk to dawn and not during the day, or you just want sunset shots and nothing else. You could go in and set, okay, I want the camera to start working at 6 p.m. and shut off at 9 p.m. and that's it. And then you could have a second work time. Okay, I want it to start, the next day at noon and go on for 2 hours. So you can go in and make those settings. That's kind of neat to do. Save battery that way. And finally, we have our general tool setting, where you can go in and change things like the language. You can put a date stamp on here. Now the date stamp's kind of neat because you can not just put the date and time, but you can add your name if you've selected a name. It'll also record the temperature, and it'll actually record the phases of the moon, which is kind of interesting. A few things like that. You can give it a password to protect it if you wanted to do. SD cycle, that just means if your memory card gets full, you can have this kind of go to the beginning and start recording again. Now it'll erase what you've shot before, but that's an option as well. And of course you can format the SD card. So there's quite a few settings in there that you can do. When you go back here, you'll see at the top, it just gives you an idea how you've set it. So this shows my battery is full. This shows I'm shooting 16 megapixel. This shows me I'm shooting photos and videos, and I'm shooting photos at 16 megapixel and videos at 1080. I know it's kind of small, but that's what it shows. Now the other thing too, of course, you can play back your images. I'll just power it off here, power it back on again. And to view what's on the images there, you just kind of hit this up button, and it should go to, so you can just cycle through. Now it's hard to see on a small screen, but there is a zoom function. If I hit this, it will zoom in a bit, and then I can move it around. You can zoom in up to 4 times. So there's a shot of a raccoon around my campfire at night. So a handy little camera, lots of cool little features. Of course, we gotta head out into the field and see how it performs. So when you're out in the field, you have a few options when it comes to mounting your trail camera. Because there's a tripod socket in the bottom, you can attach it to a full-size tripod. Or in this case, I'm using this little bendable, flexible tripod, and that's good if you just want to wrap around a tree branch or something, like an overhanging branch. But a lot of people just like to attach it to a tree, like so, and that's why they give you this strap. And it's really long. It's almost 6 feet, so it's going to fit around a big tree. It seems to be pretty well made. It's like a wide 1-inch nylon strap. And basically on the back of the camera are these slots. So you just slide the strap through, like so. And then you find a good tree that you think it's going to fit around. So we'll just kind of wrap it around here. And then there's just there's a buckle on the end here. And it seems to be pretty sturdy. It's spring loaded, so you got to take the end here. Whoops. Take the end, slide it through. There we go. So line it up where you think you want it to be. Then pull the strap tight, and it's spring loaded, and it should stay there. So just turn on, leave, and it's going to capture the still photos and the videos you want. Now, I did take it on a few trips, and I didn't have a lot of success, but I was able to capture certain images. I seemed to get a lot of squirrels. They tended to be during the daylight hours. They were kind of curious. I got some still photos of them, looking around the fire pit. I also got some video of them scurrying about. When it came to nighttime, I was able to capture, well, not a lot. A lot of times I aimed it at my tent, and I just got shots of me leaving the tent in the middle of the night, no critters. But when it was aimed at the fire pit, I managed to get some interesting shots of raccoons. They came around at night sniffing about to see if there was anything left from my barbecue. And as you can see, I got pretty good still photos. When you zoom in at 16 megapixels, there's quite a bit of detail in there. So it gives you a good photo of what's out there. I also captured some video. Here's the raccoons sniffing about and checking out the fire pit. In conclusion, I'm pretty impressed with the Winghome trail camera. Seems to be pretty well built. It seems pretty rugged and durable, and it captures good still pictures and good video sequences. And I know that I'll be taking this along on all my future camping trips, just so I can check out and see what's been lurking around the campsite when I'm asleep.